Hello everybody and welcome. I'm your host Captain Awesomeness, and I am going to be in probably one of the most regrettable sessions in the sense that over here at 2F2F I have mentioned a few times how horrible some of these carts are, and I am in one of those. This one is supposed to be angled a little bit like, towards me, but it's like a truck. That's first. The other thing is I'm also going to, well, besides the condition of the cart, racing against people who, in comparison to me, have no karting skill whatsoever. So racing against the public does come with a lot of risks, and risks I'm not always willing to take. However, at the same time, I have been at home bored out of my mind, and the only way I know how to get myself busy is karting. And in a situation like this where beggars can't be choosers, you just go with what you have. So anyway, I'm going to wait to get on the track, and we'll see how things go. And maybe in today's video, after the end of the session, I'll talk about what my overall thoughts and whatnot are regarding the state of go-karting in Pakistan, and in particular here. So there we go. Okay, so as we come through the chicane here, I'm going to talk about this cart. First and foremost, I have to stick my foot out to the corner of the accelerator just to get the accelerator to actually push power through. Then on top of that, I've got people of all sorts that I have to contend with and race against. People who are, as you can see, just slow, don't know what they're really doing. So I have to go around them somehow, find a way. So, and this cart itself isn't exactly safety inspiring, to say the least. I'm like really hoping nothing goes wrong, and I really have to manhandle the steering wheel because of the fact that it's angled up, and God knows what else. So frustrating as it is, we'll figure it out. Looking behind me, nobody there. Going through the chicane, and you know what, I'll be surprised if I even hit like a, I don't know, a 112, because this doesn't feel like it's gonna run that. Not to mention I've got public everywhere, so I've got to figure a way out around them some way, somehow. Getting this thing to wind up after having to slow down all of a sudden is also not very confidence inspiring. I have to take precautions that people that are in front of me don't make stupid moves. And that I can do switchbacks around them, so this way I am safely maneuvering and trying to get the best lap time, all that stuff. Now, here's the thing. There is only one benefit to racing against the public, and that is you kind of teach yourself what you need to do when you go around them. However, the associated risk with that is that you don't really know which way they're going to go. They don't know what it means to maintain your line, so they can easily just decide all of a sudden that if they're like here, for example, all the way on the outside, that they'll just turn to the inside for no rhyme or reason, because again, they don't know what a racing line is. So can you really fault them for that? No, not really. It's just how things go. Like this guy here, no clue whatsoever what he's doing, just kind of cruising around. It's a total like a risky endeavor. Of course, you always want to race with people you know. I see another guy spun out. I see this person with their visor all the way up. I mean, these are the kinds of things beyond the condition of the carts that make me wonder about the state of go-karting. And I'll, as I said again, talk about that at the end of the video. So all those carts that are sitting to the side on the field should also be an indicator as to the state that they're in. It's not cool to have carts going down left and right. I mean, it's one thing to have one cart go down, but multiples? I don't think that's a good thing. Pissed off customer and a staff that has to deal with the heat. Yikes. So this cart in particular, the other problem is it wants to accelerate when it wants to accelerate. It's like I'm trying to get the right position on the throttle so that it actually opens up the throttle plate to the maximum. I'm assuming this works just like an LO206, although I've never had the opportunity to really know. So having said that, it's still nice to be out here. I just wish the carts weren't this bad. 2 years ago, the worst problem was tires. They the track folks, because of some kind of an issue of availability with the enduro tires that they usually get from Sodi, they bought Chinese tires, which were total pieces of crap. You couldn't get traction for the life of you. You know, back home, the worst feeling tire I've ever been on were the MG Reds, but that's only because they're pretty hard tires. They're designed a certain way, and that's how the manufacturer makes them. You know what to expect from them. These Chinese tires were reportedly slick and all this other jazz. Yeah, there was nothing slick about them. They were just really, really bad. So anyway, here I am looking at two people who are about to lock each other up. It seems like I have to find a way around them, which I just did. That's how you go around people when you have to, I guess. I don't know if I would make a move like that in a open wheel race. So I got this jackass who's on the outside. And I say jackass because I saw them earlier. Just real bad with what they're doing, but hey, again, member of the public who's never raced in their life before. Oh my God, my hands are hurting from having to handle the steering wheel in such a weird way. I usually keep my hands locked up in one spot. It's just not possible with these. Oh, another thing, I have like a little pillow behind me, not because I need leg space, but because the heat from the engine gets so bad that it starts to burn you. I mean, these things need replaced, panels need to be replaced, but not happening. So maybe I'll get to have a conversation with the owner slash senior management and see how willing they are to get my feedback. Although I've already been forewarned that it's an endeavor in failure, so to say, that I might get the nod of yeah, we're gonna do this and that, but Is something really going to happen? I was told with 100% level of confidence, no. But still, I'm going to do my part because I really care for racing. That's the reason why I keep showing up here. I look at things, I observe things, and I develop a good constructive feedback. I just don't go bitching and moaning about things. That's how you lose your audience. So it's real important, communication. But anyway, I don't know where the rest of my competition is. I see one of them already on the second part of this track right there. Let's see if they actually remain fast enough to avoid getting caught up by me. Nope, they're gonna get caught up. Yep, they are really behind me, so we're good there. I'm kind of hoping for the session to end already because my hands are done trying to hold the steering wheel the way it is. But whatever. At least you guys get to see how entertaining it is to race in a broke-ass cart against people who don't know what they're doing. I figured the experience might be a little different compared to the indoor karting stuff that I've done. Whoops, somebody just lost control, ended up in the field again. So difficult sometimes to get ahead of people who just want to hug the inside. So anyway, yeah, I've run out of words, so I'm just going to enjoy the last few laps and kind of think positive. That's all I can do right now. Wow. Okay, so let's talk about what happened. The best lap time, as I remember, is about 114.9 that I could pull off. Well, little did I know, first of all, that not only were all the carts pretty bad, which I knew about, but they were all getting used up like all day long. So when I talked to the track officials, they said they opened up today at around like 2 p.m. and the carts had been going non-stop, like without any break at all, until the time I started, which was about 11 p.m. It's like 1:17 a.m. at this point, and they literally have been going non-stop. So when you have a situation like this where your rental carts are not right-sized for the kind of business that you get, this will happen where your carts don't get a break, and when they don't get a break, they start to break. So I don't know what to say about it other than, you know, this is just a fact of life no matter where you go. So what's the fix for that? Well, the fix for that is you got to increase your fleet. You have to come up with different ways to continue to not only have sustained operations, but you need to be able to give your fleet a break. So the idea would be, say, if the demand is for about 20 carts, and that's how many carts go out at a time, because that's the capacity that you can afford to do, you need to have 40 carts here. The reason being that you want to, first of all, have enough spare carts to be able to sustain the demand, but then at the same time be able to give the one cart that's already gone out a break of one session, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever that is. Typically it would be actually not 100% of your per session need. It would be more like 120%. Again, to account for breakdowns and repairs and all that other stuff that happen at any rental facility. So that's number one. The other issue has to do with the kinds of people that show up and race on these things. You can't have it to where you are compromising safety and standards to attract the people to continue coming in. Like, you go to any place where I come from, there's two things you'll notice within that. First and foremost, there is the safety brief that everybody does, but they have to pay attention to that. Then you empower your safety marshals to be able to control the crowds. Both of these things don't happen here. So with regards to safety, just a quick example, you're not supposed to, according to the safety videos they give to everybody here, you're not supposed to be wearing open-toed shoes. You're not supposed to be wearing long garments, because these things can happen where either you get injured because you were wearing open-toed shoes, or your clothing gets stuck inside of the cart and now you can't get out, or worse, your clothing gets stuck in the wheel, and it may not just rip off your clothes, it may rip off part of your flesh. So you don't want to do stuff like that. So there's an issue there where these things are lacking. So I considered that like a huge concern when it comes to how things are run in this particular location. Now, this is not a negative feedback or anything of that sort. It's really just making obvious what happens here. It's observable by any and all who come here. However, the thing is that ones who know where that line is are few and far between. I'm not trying to tell the ownership here how to run their business. Obviously, it's not mine to really worry about. But there are definitely opportunities here where improvements can lead to good, sustainable results over the long run. And by long run, I mean 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the line. Now, this facility has been open for 2 years, almost 3 years now. And yeah, it just shows, where I'm sitting right now. I've got a whole bunch of people all around me at, past 1 a.m. So that tells you that it is a popular spot. But you have to also supplement that popularity, the demand for what people want in terms of entertainment, with the proper equipment for them to use and with proper implementation of certain procedures. So hopefully when I get the opportunity to talk to those who are the real decision makers here, I'll be able to kind of push that a little bit, not just because of my own sense of security, but really overall, like, I really want this place to succeed, and I want it to succeed over the long run. And I want to be able to also see that certain other things happen. Like, 2 years ago, they had a bunch of events happen here that were specifically designed towards serious racers like myself and some of my buddies who live here. That currently has gone away in the face of the fact that, majority of the people are here for entertainment, not for serious racing. Well, then there's another way that you can work on kind of keeping both worlds happy. I'm going to keep my comments on that out of this video, but really the more important part is, okay, there is that. I recognize it from the outside looking in, and maybe hopefully persuading the people that make the right decisions for their own business can also see the same and maybe be on the same page. I really want to continue to come back here every time I'm in Pakistan, just because it is a great facility. Furthermore, I think the overall thing is that I am going to be working, hopefully, through my own efforts on developing a little bit of a talent thing. Like, Omni Karting has a good program going for themselves, but it's mostly customer, I don't know what the word is, but it's basically it's been energized via the customer, not the track itself. At least that's my perception. I might be wrong. The same thing can be done here, but it's not happening just yet. There's like just an elite small group of people who really care about the art of racing, but everyone else wouldn't give two damns about it, which is fine. It's just how it is anywhere you go. But I think the racing aspect of it is definitely in need of addressing and really improving upon. So I'll do whatever I can on my end to make that happen. I mean, these videos are there for a reason. I bring in more of the serious aspect and the fun aspect of go-kart racing, but I got to be able to also do better than a 1:14.9 to also gain a little bit of relevancy for the viewing audience. So there's that as well. Anyway, so the other point of being able to race with the viewer audience. Guys, I've also mentioned it before. I'll mention it again. I'm on Instagram. Just look me up. I always put the links to all my social media in the description below. So go ahead and have a look at that. And that's really all I have to say. I know it became a bit of a long rantish style video, but really that's not the point. The point is really to highlight the glaring issues and hopefully find a correction to it ASAP instead of like sometime later down the line. But before I do go, also do me a favor, guys. Please hit that thumbs up and please help me gain more subscribers. Share the word about this channel, and I will see you all at the next Apex. Bye-bye.
Never break, always fight.